and welcome to the Nifty Scrapbooker today. Today we're going to be using Maymay Made It Stamp of the Month for November. It was one I thought maybe be Thanksgiving related. It's not Thanksgiving related, but it turned out to be a great stamp set after all. This is it. It's called Butter Up. It has some great graphics and some great sayings on it. You have this stack of pancakes, this waffle, butter, whipped cream, blueberry, strawberry, mint leaf. Waffle will I do without you? You make everything in life better. You really stack up. Life is better with you. So those are the nice, great graphics and the great sayings on this stamp set. I really, really like this, and we're going to have a fun time today making this into a great card for a loved one. So if you don't know, she has SVG files free for any of the stamps that she makes. All you have to do is go to her website and download it. And that's what I did today. I got the stack of pancakes, the strawberry, the whipped cream. You really stack up, and life is better with you. So we're going to use those. We're going to use the brushed corduroy and the tag maker from Creative Memories, an old Stamping Up stamp, and the slew of Ohuhu markers, and of course I cut out, I have a piece of scrap brown paper here, and then we'll be making a tag out of it. So let's push some of this stuff aside and we'll get this set up. I also cut out a card front and a card base that will be the base of our card, and so we're going to set that aside and we're going to work on inking up our background sheet of paper. So we're going to take the brushed corduroy distress ink, take our little brush here. It's just a regular ordinary makeup brush, and brush this on. Now what I'm doing is I'm doing it really lightly. Now these are water-based inks, so they're water reactive, but one thing you do is if you keep inking up and keep going over the same spot, it gets darker and darker and darker. So what I want to do is I just wanted a light tannish looking, because this brushed corduroy can become quite dark. So as you'll see when I do the stamping. So what I'm doing is I'm just brushing it on here in a real light fashion, not overlapping it, and not really building up the ink on the page. I'm just trying to fill in the white spaces and get it to a nice buttery, creamy brown texture. There, so get that finished up there. Now we're going to take our stamp block. This is a stamping block from Stamping Up. It's from 2001. So what we're going to do with it, we're just going to take the ink pad and apply it directly on there. And you want, this card fits this whole stamp, so you want to ink up every square inch of it. And with a 1-inch ink block, it takes a little bit of time to do that. So we're going to be inking this stamp up. Like I said, this is a Stamping Up block, wood block stamp from 2001, I think is what it said on it. Now normally you would stamp like that, but with a large stamp like this, I found a better way to get better coverage of the stamp is to actually lay your paper on top of it. And then when you get it set on there, just kind of rub it with your hands. This gives you better contact with the stamp, and it gets the ink transferred onto your piece of cardstock. We'll lift this up here, and there we go. We got our plaid background. Isn't that great? It turned out really good. And see, that shows you how dark that brushed corduroy can get. Now I always take my microfiber cloth and clean off my stamps really well. This will take all the ink off, and so you can put it away with your other stamps. So that's our background. Next we're going to do, let's go ahead and make our tag. We're going to take a random piece of brown cardstock that I have. We're going to measure it and cut it at 5 inches long. And this is the one from Creative Memories, the straight paper trimmer from Creative Memories. We're going to even that up a little bit. Then we're going to take it on its side and make it 2.5 inches. Another cut at 2.5. So therefore we have a 2.5 by 5 inch tag. Well, rectangle for now, but that's what this comes into, and we're going to lay it on our card like so, kind of at an angle. But what we're going to do is we're going to put this inside the tag maker This is a punch from Creative Memories, and we're going to slide that cardstock all the way in and just give it a good punch there. And there we go. We got our top of our tag. So it rounds it and punches a hole in it. And those things just lock up and lay flat. So we'll just get rid of some of this garbage, put it in my garbage can, and now we have our tag. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that tag kind of at an angle on this piece of paper. And you can see that 5-inch tag really fits on that card front. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 colors, 2 reds and a green. The ones I'm using here are Vermilion, R2, R8 Geranium, and GY1 Pale Green. We're going to take that pale green and color our stem of our strawberry and get that filled in. Then we're going to take the one that's called Vermilion, the R2, and these are Ohuhu markers, and we're going to just color in the whole part of the strawberry. It's a lighter red, the Vermilion is. And then what we're going to do is we're going to, once I get that colored in there, we're going to take the R8, which is the Geranium, which is a darker red, and we're just going to put some shadow on there. Now, to get it to blend really well, and put the little shadows on there, what they make is, I went back over with the Vermilion, but it didn't blend very well, so they have a blender marker that comes along with the set of Ohuhu markers. So I'm going to use that to blend those 2 colors together to make it look more transitional and make it more dimensional. And then we're going to take our black and very carefully with the brush tip, we're going to put little dots on to create the seeds on our little strawberry there. Get those little dots in there. And there we go. We have our strawberry colored. Now I'm going to take the warm gray 0 from this set, and we're going to just put some shadows on the whipped cream, because the whipped cream is white, so you want to keep it predominantly white, but we're just going to put a little bit of gray underneath where the layers of the whipped cream stand up, and that just gives some dimension and effect to the actual whipped cream. So it's not going to take long, just put a couple little shadows in there, and we're done that one. Now the longer one to color is going to be this stack of pancakes, because it's quite a large stamp. And so what we're going to be using is we're going to use Morin, potato brown, and yellow ochre to make this pancake. And we're going to throw in a blue for the plate. So I'm trying to find here which one is which. And there we found the Morin. And we're going to color every pancake. Now what we're going to do with this is we're going to color in these pancakes with this. Then we're going to take the potato brown and do the shading on each pancake. So as you can see here, I'm going by and I'm doing like an outline around where I want and then just filling it in quickly. So you can do a little outline around and then fill that in. And that's an easy way to color. You go around the outside edges where the black is and then just fill it in. As I start to do this over on this side, I think, well, we can color in a bigger spot at the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this around this one. And then we're going to flip it around. And I'm going to work on the left side. And here I come down. See how I'm coming down on this? I'm sorry, the right side. I'm coming down and I'm going to fill this in. There I'm going around the edges of the pancakes and down. And now I can fill all this in. See how quickly it is to fill in the pancakes now? Now I've got around all those drips of syrup. So that's a good way to marker your stuff up. These are alcohol markers. Now traditionally, if you had a regular table or if you were working on another piece of paper, it would bleed through. It bleeds through the cardstock, and this is a 110-pound cardstock. So, and it does bleed through some, as you'll see when we go to glue this onto our tag. It will bleed through the paper a little bit. So Ohuhu throws in what they call a pad that actually goes between the coloring sheets to prevent any bleed through. So if you're using a surface, now I'm working on a glass media mat by Tim Holtz, and that media mat really helps the bleed through, because it doesn't, it just bleeds onto the glass, and then it doesn't make any marks. So what I'm doing here now is I'm taking the potato brown color, the BR2, and I'm actually doing shading underneath each pancake to try to create dimension. Okay, to create a little three-dimensional look. And then I'm going to take my blender brush and go back over it and blend those two into each other. And I'm going to go down on each pancake where I put that brown line. Just come in and kind of bleed those two colors together to create a softer look. That takes out those harsh marks of the marker. So we're going to do that with these. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the yellow ochre, and we're going to actually do the syrup. Now, finding the colors for this, I was like, okay, pancakes are a little lighter than syrup, so we went with the darker color for our brown for the syrup. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of doing what I showed you do earlier, go around the edges of the black where the graphic is, and then we'll just go around this edge, and then when we get the top of that pancake done, we'll just go back in with our marker and just fill all that in quickly. And that's how we get our pancake done. Now there is a little bit of syrup in the bottom, so we're going to take our marker down in there and work on that and color that pool of syrup at the bottom of the pancakes. It's actually making me a little hungry for pancakes. So we're going to do that. And once I get that done, we're going to actually go in with a pastel blue. I was like, oh, we have a plate. I didn't grab a marker for a plate, so I'm going to grab the PB, the pale blue, PB7 marker, which is the pastel blue. It's a purple blue color, and so we're going to be coloring the plate underneath that pool of syrup there at the bottom of the graphic. So we'll just finish here outlining and filling in with our alcohol markers. And there we're done our coloring. All those markers for 3 little pieces of cut out inked stuff. So alright, we're done with that. Now let's get our card put together. We have all the pieces ready. Let's go ahead and take our ATG gun made by Scotch and put some tape on the back of this tag. We're going to put it down first. We're going to just layer up our card with all the different graphics we have. Remember I said we're going to put this at an angle. So we're going to just squeeze it on here. With that cutting that top off that 5-inch piece, it just kind of fills the card really well. Now you can see the bleed through on this a little bit. That's what I was talking about. If you have thinner paper you're using, or if you're not using a glass media mat, you want to actually keep that mat under your coloring. That'll keep it from bleeding onto other things on your table or on your project board or whatever. So if you have a glass media mat or another media mat that can take the handle of inks, you can do that. We're going to take our whipped topping and we're going to throw it right on top of our pancake. We're going to take our little strawberry. So you can see the little bleed through on that one too. Put a little piece of tape on that, and let's see, where do we put it? Do we put it up at top, the top of the whipped topping, down below? I don't know. Let's put it down below. Oh, no, top. Yeah, maybe on top of the whipped topping. Nah, we'll put it down at the bottom of the plate. That's what we'll do. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the saying on here that says, you really stack up. And we're going to put that right at the top of the tag. So, and that's the front of our card. So we're going to take that and turn that over. Now, if you've ever noticed when I do my cards, I make my card front just 1/8 of an inch all the way around, smaller than my card base. What that does is it creates a white edge around it, and sometimes I marker around it. I didn't on this one because I thought the plaid background really makes it stand out from the white background anyway. So we're going to open up our card, and we're going to take the saying, "You make everything in life better," and we're going to put that on the inside of our card. And then, as I do with all my cards, I have a custom stamp that says, created just for you by the Nifty Scrapbooker, and we're going to stamp that on the back of the card. And there you go. You really stack up. There's our stack of pancakes on our plate. You make everything in life better, and of course my custom stamp on the back. So that makes a great card to give to a loved one. We'll see you next time on The Nifty Scrapbooker.